What's up, what's up? Drop in the comments if you came over here from TikTok. I'm gonna give people, a few minutes to come in here before I start talking about this. What's up, Brian? What's up, Sophia? What's up, Kelsey? In case anyone wonders, before we get started here, I really gotta take a leak. So I'll be back in like 60 seconds. That should give people time to come in. If anyone asks, that's where I'm at. I will be right back. All right. Jesus Christ, 49 people on here? What's going on? Maybe I should go pee more often. All right, a lot of you came here from TikTok. Some of you said that. If you came over here from TikTok, drop in the comments. Let me know. God, I had to pee like crazy. I feel so much better. What's the next best investment? High reward. Nothing I'm going to be talking to you about here is like gambling. It's not. I'm not looking for lottery tickets, not looking to make a bunch of money overnight or get a meme coin that does 1,000x. This is about getting a nice steady return. Nice steady. And by steady, I mean like 100% yield. Is that fair? Is that okay? Can you guys hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if 100% yield is very acceptable for you. Can you guys hear me? Is anybody there? Jordan can hear me. Okay. So I'm assuming the rest of you can hear me. Shall this, I don't know what's going on here. It's weird. Okay. Okay. So I'll dive into this. So have any of you ever used DeFi before? Put a 1 in the chat if you've never used DeFi before. Swamp, Jordan. If you've used DeFi and you're like excellent at using DeFi, nothing I'm going to share with you today is going to be worth your time. But if you don't know how to use DeFi and you're interested in it, what I'm going to share with you today is going to be very impactful, very valuable, okay? So I don't want to waste anyone's time. I want to make sure we know why we're here. And also, in using DeFi, if you don't have any money, if you're regularly saying, I can't afford things, then DeFi is not the place you should be. Frankly, investing is not quite the place you should be. If you don't have much money, and I can't afford this, I can't afford that, you'd be much more benefited by working on increasing your income and increasing your skills. And everyone's benefited by increasing their income and skills. It's just, if you have some money, I'm going to dive into the three main things that we do in DeFi. There's three different things that you can really do in DeFi. And I have my names for them. Number one, I call Be the Bank. Number two, I call Be the House. And number three, I call Be Coinbase, okay? So how do these things make money? Banks make money by lending money, and they get a yield on that lent money. In DeFi, you can be the bank. Be the house, how do they make money? Well, they make money from gamblers losing trades, losing bets. Well, in DeFi, you can be the casino, you can be the house. And by being Coinbase, how does Coinbase make money? From fees, from people buying and selling crypto. That's what being Coinbase is. And in DeFi, you can be Coinbase and you can be collecting those fees as people trade between coins. If someone swaps Bitcoin for stablecoin, stablecoin for Bitcoin, well, they pay a small fee to do that. In DeFi, you can be Coinbase, the one collecting the fee. Put a yes in the chat if I have your attention. Let me know. Who's excited now? Let me know. Right? Because I'm a guy sitting in a room talking at his fucking camera. Like your engagement helps me feel not crazy and helps me feel like I'm not just talking to myself. Jordan gave me a yes. There's 15 of you on here, it says at the moment. 10, keeps going up and down. I mean, I moved all the way over here from TikTok, doing this extra stream to talk about this. Please give me engagement. Thank you, Brandon. Okay. So let me show you, for instance, Be the Bank. So let me flip this around. So over here, so there's different stable coins you can choose from. Being the bank is mostly about stable coins, right? Getting yield on stable coins, getting your stable coins grow into more. Although you can do them with other coins, I feel that stable coins give you the best return, right? So for instance, you know, you're all familiar with USDC and USDT, but over here on the Hyperliquid network, there's a coin called USDH, USD Hyperliquid. 136,000 in this pool. That's not a ton, but the yield is pretty great, 12%. But maybe you want to do USDC. It's paying 6%, right? And it fluctuates based on demand, but 6% is kind of a baseline and it goes all the way up to like 10. So think about that. You have money sitting in the bank, dollars, doing nothing. What if they were just sitting over here as stablecoin, getting 6, 7, 8, 10% yield? Money that you don't need, that you're not needing to pay your rent or something like that. What if instead you just put some of it over here and let it grow? That would be quite an upgrade, wouldn't it? That would be pretty valuable. Because that's what I do with DeFi, is I don't really have money in the bank. I put my dollars over here in DeFi, where it gets a better yield than the bank itself. And it just sits over here. And you know what? It's not locked up in some CD or something like that. No one's taking fees. I can withdraw it whenever I want. I can add to it and withdraw it whenever I want. There's no one to stop me. No hoops I got to jump through, nothing. That's pretty powerful, right? And again, that's why I say, like, this isn't going to get you rich overnight, but it's going to give you a big upgrade. And this is the smallest of the things I'm going to be talking about in terms of return. I'm saving the best for last, okay? Because in my opinion, being Coinbase is what I do the most, because it typically gets me 100% plus yield. But it's different. Over here, I can just stay completely in stablecoin, and let my stable coin grow into more stable coin, right? And there's a variety of places I can do it. Here's one I'm showing you. Here's another one over here on the Solana network, getting up to 7.5%. Okay. Aave is maybe a place you're familiar with that pays about 3 to 4%. But being able to use this stuff is where most people get intimidated and have trouble, because it is foreign. So it is tough to kind of figure out how to use, but once you figure out how to use it, you can't imagine life without it, right? What's the catch? There's not a catch. There's really not. Like, the thing you should be asking is, where does the yield come from? So over here, for instance, USDC, okay, any of these. What happens is, say you deposit $10,000 of USDC here. Well, what happens is people can come over here and they can borrow. And they can borrow your USDC. And they'll be paying somewhere around a 7% probably rate at the moment. And you're like, oh, random people borrowing my money? Hold on. So here's what happens. Say that I put $10,000 in there, and someone borrows my $10,000, okay? How am I protected? Well, in order to borrow $10,000, they need to put up $12,000, $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 in collateral before they can ever borrow. So if, say they want to borrow $10,000 of stablecoin, they got to go deposit like $15,000 of, say, on this platform, Hyperliquid token. So they put up this collateral to borrow. It's collateralized lending, which is not what banks do, because banks are ridiculous. That's a whole other conversation. So I'm completely protected. Somebody can borrow $10,000 from me, but they put up $15,000 to borrow it. So if their collateral goes down, say it's Hyperliquid token, or Solana or Ethereum or whatever anyone uses, and say that token goes down in value, say it goes from 15,000 to 12,000, the platform will immediately liquidate their collateral to repay me back plus interest. I am completely protected. Put a 1 in the chat if that made sense. Or if I need to explain it again, let me know. Put a 1 if you got it. Put a 2 if you need me to explain it again. How's it compared to a money market? I'm not 100% what you're asking. It's a better yield than a money market. Money markets aren't collateralized. And that's okay, because then you're in that regular system, right? So you wouldn't have to worry about it too much, but you're getting a lower yield. A money market's better than just leaving it in the bank, for sure. But I think they take a little bit of a fee out of it. It's been years since I used a money market, so I don't know what the process is like now, if it's changed very much. But they take a small fee. I think you can only do things, it's permissioned depositing and withdrawing and stuff like that. So I don't think you can like just click a few buttons and withdraw it and send it and use it or something. One nice thing about this is you're getting a higher yield, right? And it's on demand, 24/7, 365. You can deposit or withdraw whenever you want, and there's essentially no fees, right? You're paying fractions of a penny to deposit or withdraw. I hope that answered the question. What percentage does the IRS charge? It's regarded as income, as any yield is, right? If you're in a money market, whatever money you make, again, I'm not a tax professional. This isn't tax advice. This is the way I understand it, the way I do it, the way that's been told to me by tax professionals, and the way that I file it. Anytime you make money, you got to pay taxes, right? So if I'm getting, say, a 6% yield, 7% yield, that yield is income. And I got to include that in my income and pay taxes on it as income. If that answers. Is there more risk than a money market? I would say there's more risk, minimally. So you got to be careful what you're using. It's also not somewhere I would put every single dollar. But starting to use it and learning how to use it is where the big benefit is. right? Because if you're sitting back here, you've never used it, but you see this, it's like, well, you'd like to try it out, right? You don't need to go deposit your entire net worth in it, but to start putting some money in, get the feel for it over time, to find your comfort level and to experiment around, pretty low risk, especially since you can control what you put in and you can withdraw it whenever you want. And every loan that's done is completely collateralized, right? So again, say I deposit $10,000 and someone borrows my $10,000. Before they can ever borrow that, they're depositing probably $15,000 in collateral. And if the collateral comes down in value, the protocol will immediately liquidate their collateral to repay me plus interest. Okay. The biggest risk we run, and that's why it's so important to use established protocols, is some kind of hack, right? So you got to use established protocols. There's only a few that I use that I feel comfortable with. But the concept, do you understand it? You're getting that yield that's coming from people borrowing your dollars and paying you yield. So you're being the bank. You're borrowing your money. And again, you can withdraw your money whenever you want, plus the interest you've earned up to that time. Pretty powerful, right? Again, this is the lowest of the things. This is like where I just put dollars that I don't know what else to do with. Who is vetting these collaterals? You can't just put up anything, right? So the protocol will have what they accept as collateral. And typically it's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. And it monitors the price of them, right? So say they deposit $15,000 of Ethereum today, and Ethereum's at $2,000, right? So that would be a little over 7 Ethereum. Well, if that 7 Ethereum goes down to being worth, say, $12,000, the protocol will immediately liquidate that Ethereum for dollars, for stablecoin, to pay me back plus the interest I've earned. All done automatically without me having to do anything. Hope that makes sense. Do we at least understand this concept of being the bank? Yes? There's 2 more that I'm going to talk about, and it gets increasingly more exciting. So the next concept is being the house, okay? And being the house is all about being the casino. So you're going against traders, right? So here you could lose money, but being the house, today maybe the gambler wins, but most days the gambler is going to lose. And in the crypto world, in the DeFi world, the gambler is a trader, right? So they're taking longs and shorts. A long means that they're saying they profit if the price goes up. A short is when they profit if the price goes down. And they can also do this on leverage, which means they're borrowing money. And when they borrow that money, they pay you interest. And when they lose in their trade, you also get to keep that money, right? The house doesn't really lose in the long run. And until now, you've never been able to be the house. So a platform that I like to use over here is called EdgeX. And over the last year, it's paid about a 53% return. And this is on stablecoin, right? So I deposit, say, USDC in here. Currently they have $111 million deposited, and it's paid about 53% over the last year. Who just got real excited? So we got a little bit of a mind blow going on. I don't have a guide. You guys getting this? And again, the way that APR is, it comes from the traders losing, right? The gamblers losing, because you're being the house. When they do longs and shorts on their cryptos, and they take on when they take on leverage, which means they're borrowing money, they're paying an interest, and when they lose on their trades, you get to keep that money. Some days the gamblers win, but most days they don't. It's literally a casino, except for you get to be the casino. And that one's pretty simple to explain. Same thing as the bank, you just deposit stablecoin and you get that yield. And you can withdraw it whenever you want. Kind of shifting paradigms a little bit. That's be the bank and be the house. Those are stable coin focused. Be the bank, very simple. People just borrow your stable coin and pay you a yield somewhere between usually about 6 and 12%. It fluctuates based on demand. Right? If a bunch of people want to borrow stable coin one day, guess what? Interest rate goes up. If people aren't really wanting to borrow one day, interest rate goes down. And it fluctuates. I find over time it's usually between like 7 and 12% brought out on an annual basis. Which, the stock market, the S&P 500, its annual return is about 10%, but it's got all the volatility of the up and down and the up and down. This is just dollar stablecoin, accruing more dollars in stablecoin. It only goes up, and you can withdraw it whenever you want. Yes, any yield you make is income, so it's taxed as income. I want to be very clear because I hate it when people say this, but it gets taxed. And I'm like, anytime you make money, it gets taxed. So would you rather not make money? Because if you don't make any money, you don't pay any taxes. I assume you would rather make money and pay taxes on it. Fair? Lots of questions, but yes. I'm sure you have lots of questions. And I'm sure you have so many questions you don't even know you should have. I'll get to all that after I go through all this, okay? About, how I can help you with that and stuff like that, okay? But for now, I just want you to understand the concepts. Because you can't just, I've been doing DeFi's entire existence. I've been using DeFi for 6 years, almost 7 now, actually, which is DeFi's entire existence. I couldn't possibly transfer 7 years of experience and knowledge to you in a moment on anything. So I'm just trying to get you to understand what it is and how it works. And you'll probably have other questions, which there'll be time for that later. But I just want to make sure you understand the concepts. Be the bank, be the house. Are we ready to move on to my favorite, which is being Coinbase? Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready to move on to being Coinbase. Jordan and Brandon say yes. There's 13 people on here. Anybody else? Anybody else ready to go on to my favorite one? Before we move on, I'll recap. Being the bank is all about lending your stable coin and getting a yield on it. And you can withdraw your stable coin and your yield whenever you want. You can deposit as much as you want. You can withdraw as much as you want. There's no one to stop you or tell you you can or can't. You can do it 24/7, 365. Being the house is about depositing your stable coin and betting against the gamblers. So some days the gamblers win, but of course most days they don't. This one tends to pay the higher yield. Those are both stable coin focused. The next one, being Coinbase, is not just stable coin focused. It's, I don't want to say more altcoin focused or coin focused. There's more of a variety of coins that you can do this with. And don't get me wrong, being the bank, you can go lend out Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Hyperlink. You can go lend that stuff out. They just typically don't pay as good of yield as the stable coins do, but you can go do that too, and it's still going to be better than staking, better yield than staking. But in my opinion, using the Be the Bank, it's better for stable coins than it is for your altcoins. Because if you're going to use altcoins like Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, being Coinbase is the way to go in my opinion, and you'll see why, okay? I hope I've led up to it enough. Now, this was something that I showed you a bit ago, and this is my small public wallet. my teaching wallet, I call it. And I started it around Thanksgiving in America, which is around the end of November, right? So December, January, February, it's been about 3.5 months, okay? And I originally deposited around $2,000 in Bitcoin and Tether, which is the main stable coin. And in those roughly 3.5 months, I've made around $1,100 in fees. You know, you can see I've earned over $7 so far today. And those fees, guess what they were paid to me in. Those fees that I collected, guess what I was paid in. Take a guess. I'll wait. Jordan, Kelsey both say Bitcoin. I was paid in Bitcoin and Tether. As a matter of fact, every so often, I'll get to it, but every so often you have to adjust the position, because right now I'm getting fees as long as Bitcoin is between that price and that price. Okay, if it goes out of range, I got to tweak my position a bit to get myself back in range. Anyways, I adjusted my position to get back in range like 2.5 days ago. And so far I've accumulated about almost $21 in fees, half of it in Bitcoin, half of it in stablecoin. Put a 1 in the chat if I definitely have your attention. I'm gonna chew on a rock, I guess. I'll explain how it works. So here's how it works, right? Let me ask you, I call this being Coinbase. Well, how does Coinbase make money? Well, they get fees. When people sell their Bitcoin for dollars or use their dollars to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, whatever, they charge a fee, yes? As does everything, as does Binance, as does KuCoin, Gemini, whatever you use, Robinhood. It's how they all make their money, through the fees of doing the transactions, right? You pay a small fee to do the transaction. Well, in decentralized finance, you can be Coinbase. You can be Robinhood, Binance, and you can be the one collecting the fee, right? So what do I have here? Like not even like around $2,000. And in about 100 days, I've accumulated that much in Bitcoin and stablecoin. About half of that's Bitcoin, half of it's stablecoin, okay? And in the last like 2-ish days, I've accumulated almost $21 in Bitcoin and stablecoin, and I'm almost out of my range here, so I might have to adjust this a bit later. But currently, over the last 24 hours, I've made 144%. Now that number fluctuates. Again, dependent on demand. If a bunch of people go to Coinbase and want to do a bunch of transactions one day, Coinbase makes more money. If the next day, less people want to do transactions, Coinbase makes less money. Same thing over here, right? If a bunch of people want to do transactions today, I make more money. If less people do it, I make less money. But every day, I'm making money. While I sit here and talk with you, I'm accumulating Bitcoin. I'm accumulating Tether. And I call this, I actually have a name for this. I call it magnetic investing. Magnetic investing. Because what I did over here is I set up a magnet that just attracts Bitcoin and stablecoin to it. I put my Bitcoin and stablecoin here and made them magnetic so that now they're attracting more Bitcoin and stablecoin to themselves, which is to me. I wish I could hear your voices. I do. Has this got you really, have you gotten excited? Have you gotten excited at this point? Thinking about the possibilities. Thinking, well, you have $2,000 there. Could I do $20,000? Yes, you could. Could I do $100,000? Yes, you could. And you would be getting that kind of yield. Are you wondering, how the fuck do I not know about this? Why are none of the people I listen to telling me about this? Because it kind of makes doing other things stupid. Seriously. Like, why? Why play the meme coin game? Why go play all that shit? Why go trade? Why do any of it when I can just sit here in Bitcoin and stablecoin, turn it into a magnet, and let it just grow at a very nice rate into more Bitcoin and stablecoin? Seriously. And the truth is, because people just don't know about it. Like, you've probably heard of DeFi, you've probably seen DeFi sites, but you don't know how to use them because they can be intimidating, because they are quite different than anything you've ever used. But once you learn how to use them, it's like the back of your hand. It's like tying your shoes or riding a bike. But you got to go through the hump of learning how to do it. And don't get me wrong, I had to learn the hard way, because I've been in DeFi's entire existence. And believe me when I say it was way harder to use and way clunkier and way shadier when it started. And I had to learn it all on my own by trial and error and getting my ass kicked. Okay? But those are the three main strategies that I call magnetic investing: being the bank, being the house, being Coinbase. Now, I want to get some feedback from you. Would you rather put them in order? Would you rather accumulate? What's your priority? Do you have a priority on accumulating crypto assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana? Put a 1 in the chat if you do. James and Brandon. If you're sitting there thinking, God, he's asked me to put in a 1 again, dude, I'm sitting in a room by myself talking at my fucking phone. Like, I don't know if anyone is even listening or cares or is even on here. Like, if you've ever been on this side of the camera, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, just trust me. It's weird to be sitting in a room talking at your phone. So I deeply appreciate response, and you get more out of responding too. What do we got here? I didn't give you the name of the sites, James. So Brandon and James, 12 people. Put them in order: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Put them in terms of priority order of things you want to accumulate. If you want to accumulate Bitcoin as the highest priority, put that first. Ethereum second, Solana third, whatever. Let me know. It'll guide the next things I show you. Bitcoin Sol Ethereum, says Kelsey. Bitcoin XRP Ethereum. I don't have anything to help you with XRP. Because XRP DeFi basically doesn't exist. It exists, but literally nobody uses it. It makes no money. There's nothing to be made there. So I can't help you with that one. Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol are really the only things I can help you with. So Kelsey and Jordan, we got 11 people on here. Give me your priority order. Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, says James. Well, all three of you have Ethereum. So I'll show you what kind of rates. James says Hyper. I like Hyper a lot too. And actually, I know how to earn Hyper too. Again, if you're already great at DeFi and you know how to use DeFi, nothing I'm saying is going to really be meaningful for you. But if you don't know how to use DeFi, this is who this is for. This stream I'm doing. So let's go over here. Let's find some pools on another site. So look at this pool right here. This pool is Ethereum and Coinbase Bitcoin. So Ethereum and Bitcoin. Let's click on it. Let's wait for it to load up. And apparently this one's paying about 50%, right? And it'd be paying the fees in Ethereum and Bitcoin. So this one would be earning Ethereum and Bitcoin at about that rate. Let's scroll down and try to find maybe another one. How about, here's Ethereum and stablecoin. Let's click on that one. So this one's currently paying about 80% in that range. So as long as Ethereum's trading between these prices, currently it's paying about 80% yield, and that would be paid in Ethereum and stablecoin, just like it was with Bitcoin and stablecoin. Scroll down a bit more. Here's Bitcoin and stablecoin over here. Apparently that's paying about 60% as long as Bitcoin is between these prices. And then you can always just adjust the ranges, which I'm sure you have questions, but that's more of the how-to stuff. And this stream isn't really how to do it. This is helping you understand what it is and that it exists and how it works. Because it's a far deeper conversation to show you how to use it. This one's paying about 60% stablecoin and Bitcoin. Let's go over here to Solana now. This is my favorite Solana place. Like here's a Solana stablecoin pool. Over the last, well, let's just pull it up. Okay, as long as Solana's trading between these prices, again, this is Solana and USDC. Oh, apparently it's paying, Jesus Christ. That is much higher than normal, 777%. Let's go plus 5%. So as long as Solana's trading between these prices, currently would be earning like 300%, and that would be paid to us in Solana and stablecoin. I think that there's been a lot more volume here than usual. I wouldn't expect that yield to be that high, but north of 100%, sure. And this one is Bitcoin and stablecoin over here. Let's click on that one. Let's wait for it to load up. Apparently that's higher than I would expect. As long as it stays between this price, getting about 187% yield paid to us in Bitcoin and stablecoin. Let's go back. Let's find, didn't I see an Ethereum Solana? Is that the one I already clicked on? Let's click on this Ethereum Solana right here. It's gonna load up. So as long as, see, because like how many Solana does it take to buy an Ethereum? That's the way to think of this. So currently, that's paying in this range about 140%, and that'd be being paid to you in Ethereum and Solana. I think you get at least somewhat of the point there, in that you can be using your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your Solana, and your stablecoin to providing liquidity, right? By being Coinbase and Robinhood. And by doing that, you get an egregious amount of fees by using decentralized finance. Whew, that was a lot. I've been on here for 40 minutes going through this. I'm sure your head is kind of like, has so many questions and is a bit exploded, but I'll just ask a simple question because I don't know if I babbled on too long or I got too confusing. Did you at least get the general idea? Are you excited? And is this something you feel you definitely need to learn how to do? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like this is something you definitely need to learn how to do. Thanks, Zion. Thank you. Sophia and James, digital. This is the primary thing I'm doing. Because I can just sit in Bitcoin. Now for me, I'm really Bitcoin and stablecoin. Like that's what I do. And I just sit in those and turn them into magnets, and they just attract more Bitcoin and stablecoin. That's my flavor. That's my tea, my cup of tea. But you saw the variety of different things you can do over here. Now, this was the meaning of this stream was to show you, what this stuff is, how it works, where the yields come from, show you what's possible. But the showing you how to do it is harder. But it's definitely not something I could do on a stream. You know what I mean? Because there's questions you're gonna have, there's situations, there's, should I do this, should I do that, what is the blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of things, should I do this, how do I do that, The how to do it is a much longer conversation. But the thing is once you learn how to do it, it's like riding a bike and you know how to do it. So what I did is, if you want to or not, let me know, okay? I have to ask your permission, obviously. But I did put together an offer for me to help you literally do it with you, one-on-one, you and me. We do it together. Put a 1 in the chat if it's okay if I share that offer with you. Because if it's not okay with you, I'm just not even gonna bring it up or show it or talk about it. Let me know. Put a 2 if it's not okay. Put a 1 if it's okay, put a 2 if it's not. Brandon says 1.5. Because I could just, because if it's not okay with any of you, I'll just end the stream, I guess. I assumed when I went through it, some of you would want me to talk about it, but if you don't, you don't. James, if you're behind on your mortgage, this probably isn't the best thing for you to do, right? Because you don't have money to invest. This DeFi is really better for people that have some money to just place somewhere and get a nice yield on. If you're behind on mortgage and stuff like that, this probably isn't the place you should go. You gotta figure out how to catch up on your mortgage. You gotta figure out how to increase your income and increase your skills. That's my opinion. Because this is done best if you can let it sit and not worry about it and just let it grow. Digital gave me the first official 1. So I don't know. There's 9 people on here. Most people have been silent. Zion gave a 1. I don't know. Because I don't want people getting pissed at me. Because it's weird, when I offer to help somebody and I have a fee for my service, for some reason people don't think people on the internet should get paid for anything, but yet they themselves would never think it's okay for someone to call them names for charging a fee for their service or expertise. I don't know, it's strange. But like I said, I've been on here a long time. I could just end the stream. I don't know if anyone, I saw some ones. Obviously, I'm reluctant because I just don't want the hate. But for those that really want to learn how to do this, the offer I put together is really good, really good. The offer I put together is so good, I guarantee that you will have positions set up and be able to do this in less than a week. I got a lot of ones. And again, this is best for people that have money to work with. If you're behind on your mortgage and you're like, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, this isn't the best place to put your money. You should be working on increasing your income and your skills to start having money to invest. Okay, I'm not trying to say everyone should do this. No, this is for people that have money. Like, you don't got to be loaded and rich and a billionaire, but I think most people have more money than they let on. Did you know that 18% of households in America have a net worth over $1 million? Did you know that over 10% of individuals in America have a net worth over $1 million? Those are the people that this is best for. Not that you need to be a millionaire, but you got to have some money to work with. I show this little position over here in my education wallet. It's got $2,000 in it. And I show you what I've been able to do with this little bit of money in about 100 days, right? I took roughly $2,000, half of it in Bitcoin, half in stablecoin, and accumulated about, 500 some dollars in Bitcoin and 500 some dollars in stablecoin for a total of, about $1,100 in about 100 days. So I'm going to dive into the offer. 1 to 10K is the sweet spot. It is, but say these positions I'm in here, there's no reason you couldn't put 50K, 100K in them. Not that you should start there, but these things will still pay these really nice yields on 10, 20, 50, 100K. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to assume those of you that are still on here are okay with me showing you my offer that I put together, okay, to help you with the how to do this and to actually do it, okay? So I'm going to dive into it. So I call it the Magnetic Investor Program, okay? Magnetic Investor. Because like I said, I put my Bitcoin and stablecoin over here. Could be Ethereum, could be Solana, could be Hyperliquid. And I put it in such a way, I use it in DeFi that it really turns into a magnet and it attracts more Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, stablecoin, Hyperliquid token to it. See, it grows the Bitcoin into more Bitcoin, stablecoin into more stablecoin, etc. I hope at this point that at least makes sense. So what I'm including in this Magnetic Investor Program, and believe me, you're going to want to hear everything I'm throwing in here because I thought about this. I thought about this a lot. I thought, how can someone that knows nothing about this be up and going for sure, no doubt about it, within a week? Because after seeing all this, if you've been paying attention, I know at least a few of you are like, I gotta get going on this. This is too good to just keep not doing. So the first thing I'm including is a step-by-step video training of the Be the Bank, right? This is where we're lending out stablecoin and getting yield on our stablecoin. This is a step-by-step video training. I put a $997 value on that. I also include step-by-step video training of Be the House, right? Step-by-step video training showing you how to be the house and win from the gamblers losing. Put a video step-by-step $997 value on that. And of course, I'm including a step-by-step video trainings of being Coinbase. This is where we're doing liquidity over there, getting the Bitcoin, the stablecoin, the ETH, the Solana at those 100% yields. Step-by-step training that if you're brand new, never done this before, this can run you all the way through it. So far, there's more I have for you, but so far, you get these 3 step-by-step video trainings. There are multiple videos in each of these trainings showing you how to do every single step, okay? I put a total value of that of $3,000. And I mean, you gotta admit, it's gotta be worth that, right? I mean, if I'm sitting here putting $2,000 and in 100 days accumulating 1,100, like over the course of a year, That's going to grow to 2,000, 2,500. And if I put 10,000 in here, I'd be sitting here with probably $5,000. And over the course of the year, it'd be 10, 11, 12,000, right? And that's just 1 year. Imagine years and years out. So it's easy to say that that's worth that, right? People pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to college and get a degree. But of course, college never takes up 4 years of their life, puts them in immense amounts of debt, and never teaches them about money or how to make money, right? So this is nothing. But I thought, how can I help even more? So I'm including this bonus. This is a 3-month membership to my private school community where you can talk with me in my private community. You can hop on video calls with me and other community members. These are group calls because I have office hours, and you can actually be around other serious, smart investors to chat with, talk with, to get ideas with, bounce ideas with, get ideas from, etc. People that are actually doing things. I put a total value of that of $600 because it's a $200 a month thing, but it's really worth a shitload more than that. So I throw that in there. So you get all these trainings, $997 value each, and I threw in 3 months of school so you can chat with me, hop on office hour video calls, and be around other like-minded, serious investors. Total value, $35.91. Doesn't take much to get that kind of money back. But I threw in another bonus too. And this one I think you're really gonna like. I'm throwing in lifetime access to my custom buy-sell indicator called Lever Atlas. That's a $5,000 value, okay? Let me show you what that looks like actually. Let me pull that up. Let me find, so let me show you what that looks like. So I don't show this all the time, but this is my own indicator right here. And literally look at these buy-sell indicators right here. They're correct about a little over 70% of the time, okay? And look, let's go back and trace some of them, right? Look at that sell signal. This was the top of the last bull market in 21. Sell, boom, buy, boom, sell, boom, buy. That one's a little early, but it told you to get out early. And then you ride that sell all the way down, buy a little early, sell, buy, boom. Sell, goes down a bit, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, and that's where we are today, okay? You can see, like, it called the bottom of that move down there, called the bottoms down here, called the bottom down here, called the tops, and this is a good trading tool, right? This is a good trading tool, and this is the Bitcoin chart. This is an indicator I spent years perfecting and tweaking, and it has been completely invaluable to me and other people that have used it, straight up. I mean, you can see it right here. Look at the sell signal, boom, buy, boom, sell, boom, buy. And now it went down, right? So you buy, and then it goes down, and then it says, all right, never mind, sell it. So you get out a small loss, and then you ride it all the way down. Say you were doing a short. Sell, buy, sell, buy, stuff like that, okay? James says prediction for the next buy. I hope you're paying attention, James, okay? We haven't had a buy signal come in yet, interestingly, huh? Right, it called the bottom back here, right? And you can see that there was a buy signal there. This was back in the 2022 bear market, and it didn't ring another buy signal until back here at the bottom. And we haven't had a buy signal pop up yet in this drop, which seems pretty fitting. It didn't even pop one up here, right? And it told you to hang on till here, and it's still telling you to hang on. But with that being said, this is a very powerful tool I spent a lot of time and money on, a lot of testing and tweaking, very powerful. You get lifetime access to that, as well as this part of the indicator down here, as well as trainings that go along with it. But the thing people like the most is this one, and this is almost all you need. So I'm including that, lifetime access, $5,000 value on that. So far what I have for you are the 3 video step-by-step trainings showing you how to be the bank, be the house, and be Coinbase, each $997. 3 months of the school community where you get to chat with me, other serious like-minded investors, and even hop on office hours and group calls, and lifetime access to the indicator, okay? But I thought, you know what? That alone should be able to get everybody all the way in, being able to set all this stuff, provide them with everything they need. But then I thought, what else? What else could I put in there to be 100% sure, 100% of people get up and going and actually learn how to use DeFi and actually get active positions going. Because one thing that I've learned, even though I have these step-by-step video trainings showing you step by step what to do, what I find is we get in our own way. People get in their own way. They don't finish the training, they get stuck on a step, and they just don't come back to it, right? Things like that. But I wanted to make sure 100% that there is no way you can't get up and going and have active positions going. Because that's what you really want, right? Put a 1 in the chat if that's what you really want. You're like, I want to see myself having a magnetic position, accumulating Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I want to get myself one. That's the main goal. Put a 1 in the chat if that's fair. That's the main thing you want out of doing this. That you want to have, a position open that's doing this, right? Accumulating you Bitcoin and stablecoin or ETH and Solana every day. That's what you want. You want to 100% with certainty have that set up. Put a 1 in the chat if that's the thing you want. Zion says 1. I assume if you're on here, that's the reason you're still here. Because you're like, I want to be able to do this. And so again, Sophia says yes, or says 1. Because I thought, okay, how can I make 100% certain? Because with the training and the school community, there is nothing stopping you from absolutely getting this stuff set up and running within a week. But you might get in your own way, which I find with a lot of people and I find with myself. Right? You'll do this, you'll do that, or you get hung up on something, or you'll put it off, and then you just never get back to it. I wanted to make sure that that wouldn't happen, and that 100% you would definitely get positions set up. So I reluctantly, very, very, very reluctantly added in this next bonus. This is not something that I offer. This is something that I never do. It is by far the most requested thing that I get from people, and I don't do it. But the only way that I can make 100% sure that you can get these positions up and going, get yourself active positions, right? Where you got $2,000 here and it's accumulating Bitcoin and stablecoin every day at a very nice APR, right? I mean, think about that. In like 2 days, I've accumulated almost $21, half in Bitcoin, half in stablecoin, while talking to you, while going on a walk, while eating dinner, while watching TV, completely passive. That's a whole nother level. You don't have to worry about the charts. You don't have to sit there and think what meme coin's gonna pop next, because being a magnetic investor, I like the term, I think I came up with it, where you know that you're just attracting Bitcoin and stablecoin, ETH, Solana, hyper every day. And it's just growing and growing and growing, completely passive. The peace that gives you, the sleep you get, the winning you kind of feel is what you want. So I'm gonna get to the next bonus. Again, most requested thing I get from people by far. I never do it. I'm very reluctant to offer it. For a very small number of people, I'm gonna do that. You're the first people to see this offer. The first people to see this offer at all. So as the third bonus, to make sure that you absolutely get up and running, again, I have the video step-by-step trainings that are yours to keep forever. You get 3 months in the private community where you can talk with me, talk with other members, hop on our group office hours, and you get the lifetime value, you get the lifetime access to the buy-sell indicator. Total value $8,591. The third bonus I'm including is you get a 1 hour done with me Zoom call. I put a $1,500 value on that. I don't offer this. This isn't something you can get. This is the only way you can get it is by taking this offer. This is you and me hopping on a video call and doing it together, where I help you set it up, where I answer all your questions and we get it all set up immediately and you have active positions going. There is no way you can't get this up and running if I'm doing it with you. So that was what I very reluctantly added onto here, because it takes a lot of time from me. It's a lot of commitment from me. It's something I don't offer, and I don't know how long I'm going to offer it for. Again, you're the first people seeing this offer. I don't know if I'm going to offer it again tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to offer it ever again, but I put it together. I put a lot of time into this, and you're the first people I'm offering it to, right? For all I know, I don't even offer this after tomorrow, at least the Zoom call, right? This is you and me on a Zoom call, one-on-one, doing it step by step together. Is there any doubt in your mind that you can get these set up if you have a video call with me? And I say 1 hour, but it's gonna be as long as it takes to get the positions you want set up. We're gonna do it. There is no way not to do it. I'm gonna stay on the call with you as long as it takes to get your positions up. And then you still got the community, the school community, to ask me questions, to chat with other members. And then we have office hours. That's a group thing that you can get your questions answered and see other things and see what other people are doing, etc. There is just no faster, easier, safer way to get in here and start learning how to use DeFi, to start using DeFi, to become a magnetic investor. There's just no faster way. So that's the whole offer there. You get the 3 step-by-step video trainings. There's multiple videos for all of this, step-by-step, showing you how to do this, yours forever. You get 3 months of the school community where you can chat with me, chat with other members, be around like-minded people, hop on office hours, etc. Lifetime access to the Lever Atlas indicator, and you get a 1 hour, I say 1 hour because I don't think it'll take more than an hour, one-on-one Zoom call with me to set all this up with me helping you. Total value, $10,091. And if you're like, that's not worth $10,000, bro, I put $2,000 here on Thanksgiving, and I've accumulated $1,100 completely passively in Bitcoin and stablecoin in like 100 days. If you put $20,000 in here, this would be $11,000. So that's the offer. I mean, if you had $10,000 to put in here, you'd have accumulated $5,000, $6,000 by now. Over the course of the year, you'd get 10, 15,000 probably. And think about what that does over time, right? Would it be worth that if you finally learned how to do this, right? If you were able to go in here and accumulate Bitcoin and stablecoin over time, and that's just what this is worth today. Imagine what Bitcoin's gonna be worth in the future. Bitcoin's worth like 70K today. Imagine when Bitcoin's worth 300K, right? Accumulating Bitcoin here passively for free is the big key, is the big asset. Being able to do that, and that stable coin that I'm accumulating, guess what? I'm gonna probably buy more Bitcoin with it once Bitcoin finally takes its final leg, which I think it's gonna do. But that's the offer there. Total value, $10,091, but obviously I'm not gonna charge that for you, but I wanna make sure that you understand and agree that you can see how it's worth that. So, I thought, like I said, would it be worth it? And absolutely it would be. And then I thought about charging $4,000. That would be a no-brainer. Because like I said, this isn't necessarily for someone that doesn't have any money. This is for people that have some money that they can just let sit and let it grow, right? So $4,000 to be able to do this, it's a no-brainer, especially with what Bitcoin price is gonna be, ETH is gonna be, Sol is gonna be, to have that peace of mind at night, etc. 4,000, I was like, that's a no-brainer. For the person that understands what they're doing here, that has a little bit of money to work with, this is gonna be a no-brainer. But then I thought, maybe I can knock it down even more. And 2,000 is what I thought was the right price, because I'm putting in my time, I got the school community, I've spent all these years learning this stuff, putting it together in video format, step by step. I'm doing an actual Zoom call with you. I have office hours that I do with the group chat, with group videos. You get to be around other like-minded people. 2,000 was the price I was absolutely gonna charge. I was like, that's the price. That seems underpriced to me, especially since I'm hopping on a call with folks, right? Actually doing it with, because there is no doubt that you can get this stuff set up. Let me ask you, if you get on a one-on-one video call with me, is there any doubt in your mind that you can get these positions set up? No doubt, right? No doubt. Of course, if I'm on there with you, you're going to be able to do it. What's the value in that? A lot. But then I thought I'm going to make it even more of a no-brainer. And I'm not like fucking with you. Like I don't offer calls to get on one-on-one calls with people. I get asked to get on one-on-one calls every single day, and I never do it. But I'm putting it into here. And I don't know how long I'll offer this for, right? I don't know. It's something I'm willing to try out for a little bit, because I know with certainty that a serious person no doubt can get their position set up if I literally am one-on-one with them to help them and then offer them all the support going forward via the school community. They have the step-by-step trainings to reference. They have other investors to chat with and talk around. And of course, the indicator, don't discount that indicator. The indicator is very, very valuable, right? So for a very limited time, for a very limited number of people, it's not going to be 4,000. It's not even going to be 2,000, which would be just stupid easy yes. Let me remind you what you're going to get. You're going to get 3 step-by-step video trainings, courses, showing you how to be the bank, be the house, and be Coinbase. 3 months of the school community, you get access to me, other serious investors, as well as office hours, which are group video calls right there in the school community. You get lifetime access to the indicator, and you get the 1 hour call with me. I say an hour, but it's going to be as long as it takes, because no matter what, we're going to get your position set up that you want to set up. Your Be the Bank, House, and Coinbase strategies, or if you only want to do Coinbase, we'll get those set up. That's primarily the one that I do, because like I said, I'm sitting over here. This is my educator teaching wallet. You know, I'm putting here with 1,900. I think you should probably have at least $2,000 to throw into this to make it worth your while. And that's what I've accumulated in about 100 days. Half of that's Bitcoin, half of that's stablecoin. In about 2 days, I've accumulated that. That is just so nice to just sit back, and every day I can just check that and say, hey, how much Bitcoin and stablecoin did I attract? Did I get overnight? And I do that every single morning. I look and I see the Bitcoin I got. I see the stablecoin I got. If you want, I'll show you how to get hyperliquid ETH and Solana. Whatever you want. That's what the Zoom call is about. And everything else is about getting around other like-minded people and getting support. That's what the school community is for. So how much is the program? I'm going to reveal the final price in a second. I just want to make sure that you understand the value. I want to do everything I can to make sure you understand what I'm offering. So that's everything that's in there. Like I said, it's not 4,000, it's not 2,000. For a very limited time, a very limited number of people. I guess I say this too. I mean, is it fair to say that this is a money printer? Not that. That this is a money printer. It's printing Bitcoin and stablecoin every day. You could also be printing Ethereum and Solana. I forgot to put that slide in there. But think about that. There's a money printer. I can show you how to set it up. I can set it up with you. Can you accept not having it, or do you need to have it? I hope you need to have it. But if you can accept it, that's fine. I'm not here to twist your arm and make you. I'm here to just offer to help. You really got 2 choices. You could go learn to do this on your own. It's going to be a bumpier road. You're probably going to get some bruises. Or you can just pay a small toll, go through here, and I'll show you how to set it all up. I said 50 spots, but I don't know if I'm going to offer 50 spots. Seriously. Here's the final price. $997. Go over to dailycryptobull.com and claim your spot. You're the first people I'm offering this to. I don't know if I'll be offering it tomorrow. I put first 50 people. I meant to change that because I don't know if I can fulfill 50 people. That means I got to hop on calls one-on-one with 50 people, and that's not something I ever offered even one person. So I doubt it's going to be for 50 people. I'm going to try this out today. I'm going to try this out with those of you that take me up on this. And I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to figure it out from there. Maybe I got to raise the price. This seems ridiculous to me. but this is the first time I'm offering it. So the price only goes up from here. The offer eventually is just going to completely go away at any price because I just can't hop on one-on-one calls with very many people. I only have so many hours in the day and I have other obligations. But everything you get all the video courses, be the bank, be the house, be Coinbase, all of them $997, 3 months of the school community. It's a $600 value. I charge $200 a month for that, but it's worth a lot more. You'll see when you're in there because you get to ask me questions, chat with me, and the people you meet in there are fantastic and they are so smart. And you get lifetime access to the buy-sell indicator that I showed you, and of course you get the Zoom call with me to help you set up all the positions that you want to set up. I put an hour because I don't think it'll take more than an hour, but know that we are going to set up all the positions that you want to set up, and you're going to do it. I'm going to do it with you. Total value $10,091, only $997. Go to dailycryptobull.com. What's the success rate? The success rate of setting it up is going to be 100% because I'm going to do it with you. These aren't trades. These aren't ifs, ors. When I show you how to set this up, you'll be sitting here in this position and you'll be getting yield just like this, right? Just like this. As soon as I help you set this up, or maybe, like I said, if you want, you can go the other route. Like no one's stopping you. Like you can go learn it on your own. It's just gonna be bumpier and it's gonna be more painful, but you can figure it out. But the fastest, easiest way is to just pay me this little toll of $997. You get all those resources, you get the community, and you get me personally helping you set them up. Whatever you want to set up, that's what we'll set up, and you will 100% get them set up. Limited spots, only $997, dailycryptobull.com, okay? And what does the site look like? Let me pull that up. And this is what it'll look like, right? I have all this stuff here showing you that, showing you the indicator, which I've already shown you on here. And of course, God, I mean, I can't even tell you how I struggled with myself to think about offering the call. Like the call alone, right, is worth $1,000. If I can, is there any doubt in your mind? Is there any doubt in your mind that you get on a call with me, a Zoom call, and I help you set this up? Is there any reason that you wouldn't get these set up? No. Because I will stay on the call with you as long as need to be to get it set up. And I've done this thousands of times. You're not going to find someone that knows how to do this more than I do. I can walk you through everything. I can answer every question you have. And of course, you can ask me questions in the school community too. But that 1 hour Zoom call, if that's all I was offering, that's worth at least $1,000, period. I think you can see why. Like, and again, if you don't have money to invest, then DeFi isn't really for you at this point in your venture because you'd be better off increasing your income. But if you do have money that you want to put to work, if you do have money that you would like to turn magnetic, that attracts Bitcoin and stablecoin or ETH, Solana, Hyperliquid, because those are the main things that I can help you with. Those are the main things. I can't really help you with XRP. I can't really help you with Cardano. I mean, I can. I'm just telling you, it's not worth it at all. The only things that are really worth it, not from I'm a pro of this thing. I'm saying that the strongest DeFi communities are in the Ethereum, Solana, and Hyperliquid gamuts. So those are the coins that I can help you accumulate the most, that you can accumulate the most in DeFi, in being Coinbase, as being a magnetic investor. Do we need to connect our Coinbase account to an external link? Absolutely not. You don't need to connect any of that. And again, I'll show you how to set it all up. I'll show you how to get in position, etc. You don't need to connect to your Coinbase or your bank account or anything like that, right? I show you all the steps. And I show, in the video trainings, it shows you how to do all of that too. So those are yours to keep forever, right? And you can reference them anytime you want. You also have the community to come into to talk with me, to talk with other investors. And I can't understate how valuable it is to surround yourself with other successful people, with other like-minded people. And you're just not gonna find a community like this. Plus it's led by me I'm in there a lot, and we do office hours every so often, which is a group video call. Everyone gets their questions answered. You hear conversations. You learn so much. But the most important thing to you right now is getting this stuff up and running. And there should be no doubt in your mind that if you can get on a one-on-one call with me, video call, that there is no doubt that you can get this stuff set up, because I'll be right there with you to set it up. And we'll stay on the call as long as it takes to set your positions up. And after you do that, you'll be like, this is amazing. And you'll be like, I just learned so much. Holy shit, I know how to do this now. And they'll still be a little shaky. You know, you'll be like, oh, I got this question, I got that. Well, you can just hop right in the community. You can hop on the video calls, stuff like that. You can reference the video trainings, right? So the question is this something that you need? Now that you know the money printer exists, is this something that you see dramatic benefit in and something you feel that needs to be part of your strategy? If it is, go over to dailycryptobull.com, take me up on this offer. By the way, this offer is only available while I'm on this stream. And I'm going to end this stream here. I've been on here almost 80 minutes. Take a screenshot if you need to. I'm going to end the stream in like 10, 15 minutes. You're the first people I'm offering it to. You may be the last. I don't know. Particularly that done with you Zoom call with me. I am so shaky on offering that because it's just not something that I do. But I'm willing to offer it. If you're serious enough to invest in yourself, then I'll help you set it up. And then you'll have a dramatic amount of resources via the step-by-step video trainings and the school community, which also in the school community, if I didn't mention, we do office hours, meaning that we do group video calls. So people ask questions, people chat with each other. You see what other people are doing, you hear other thoughts. There's no reason you can't be successful with this. And like I said, because of the Zoom call with me, you will get positions set up. The question is, what positions do you want to set up? Don't let that bother you. You can get them all set up if you want. And you don't need to put in a ton of money, right? As a matter of fact, I'd say start with a small amount of money to build your comfort level. And I'll talk about all that on the call. We'll do everything. There will be a couple little setup steps for you, which are very simple before we hop on the call. Because I wanted to just make sure that every single person could do this, that nothing could get in their way. And this is really the only thing I could come up with that made certain 100% of people could get this done. James says he knows what he's talking about and he's been in crypto space for a long time. Thank you, James. I mean, I hope that was apparent in me explaining and showing all of this. Back to Sophia's question, no, you don't need to connect your Coinbase account to an external link or anything like that, no. What we'll be doing is you'll be using, your wallet, not your Coinbase wallet. It'll be a different wallet we set up that is just for doing this stuff. So it's completely separated from everything else. All right, I'm gonna be on here for like 10 more minutes. And when the stream is over in about 10, 15 minutes, there's the link, there's the price. The offers, the page isn't even going to be live. Like you won't be able to, when I end the stream, I'm gonna click a button and that page won't even be live anymore. You won't be able to get the offer. I do that because I like to get people to take action. Because I never wanna leave, because if you're still on here, then you wanna do this. You want to start doing this. I don't want to give you a reason to procrastinate it. Believe me, I know what's there. And I know that it's worth a fuckload more than $1,000. And you're gonna realize that immediately. Once your positions are up, and the first day where you go check it and you're like, wow, I got fucking free Bitcoin and stablecoin while I was sleeping. this is fucking crazy. And you're gonna be like, God, I wish I'd started doing this so long ago. That's literally what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, I wish I started doing this so long ago. That's what's gonna happen. Because once you get the taste of being a magnetic investor and just realizing that Bitcoin, stablecoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Hyperliquid are just coming to you, you're gonna be like, this is insane. I can't believe this exists, and I'm angry that I haven't been doing this already. You're setting up as we speak. Did you take me up on the offer, James? Drop your questions in here. I'll be on here for about 10 more minutes. When the stream is over, the page will not be live anymore. Meaning you can't take the offer. The offer won't be there. Drop some questions in here. I'm sure you have some. By the way, in case you were wondering, I'm not, the only questions I'm taking are about this offer that I have. By the way, in case you're wondering, here's what the trainings look like, right? They're videos, step by step. There's some setup stuff. And then I got the Be the Bank, 1, 2, and 3. I got Be the House, 1 and 2. And I've got Be Coinbase, 1, 2, and 3, okay? These are all videos right there. You'll get instant access to those and be able to start watching them immediately. And then what we'll do after that is we'll set up a time for you and I to have that Zoom call and get everything positioned. You'll have a little setup to do ahead of the call, but it'll be super simple, super easy. I was hoping for a little cheaper. I mean, I took $2,000. This is one position. And in 100 days, I accumulated $1,100 in Bitcoin and stablecoin. If I charge $1,000 to teach you how to do that, to do it with you and set it up, think about that return. I've made 60% in like 100 days. The skill of knowing how to do this, think about what that's worth over time. Like that Bitcoin I've accumulated there, which is worth about, $550. What's that gonna be worth in a few years from now? Thousands. So it's not even what I'm earning right now. It's what it's worth in the long term. So for me to charge $997 to do this with you so that you 100% get it set up and then provide ongoing support to help you become really good at this, that's an asset for you. That's a skill that you have that's an asset that pays you, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 times what it cost you to acquire that skill, which is an asset. It's incredibly cheap. But like I said over and over, if you don't have any money, this isn't the place to start, right? If you're like, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, don't have money to invest, then the best thing you should be doing is acquiring skills and increasing your income. And everyone should be doing that. It's just particularly folks that are, not that I'm saying that I don't know you, but I just come across it a lot, people that are like, oh, I just don't have enough money to invest. I don't have this, I don't have that. I'm like, well, then you should be investing in your skills to increase your income. And I tried to make that very clear as I was before I started going through any of this. This is best for people that do have some money to put to work. Because if you have money to put to work, it's beyond a no-brainer because the return on it is insane. To be getting what's it worth to be able to passively acquire Bitcoin and stablecoin, Ethereum and Solana every single day without having to do shit, completely passive? hard to say how much money you got. You know, in this little position here, I have $2,000, right? That's not much, but that's enough. It's enough to show you what's possible. And I've accumulated $1,100, half of it in Bitcoin, half in stablecoin, in like 100 days. That already more than paid for the offer. Now, imagine, maybe you got 10 grand to put in here. Holy shit, you've accumulated over $5,000 in 100 days in Bitcoin and stablecoin. Is that worth $1,000 to acquire that skill? Of course it is. I'm be on here for like 5 more minutes. After that, the page won't be live. And I may not even offer it again. You're the first people I'm offering it to. I'm testing it out. I may not ever offer it again, for real. Every single day, people message me that they want to get on a Zoom call with me. I never do it, but I'm offering it to you. To show you I'm serious. Are you serious? Do you want to acquire that asset, that skill of being able to use DeFi, to be a magnetic investor? Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. If you don't have any money, you shouldn't be worrying about investing at all. You should be investing in your skills to increase your income. But if you have money that you want to put to work, I've never found anything better on the planet than this. And you can see, if you know of something better, please let me know. But your crypto people, you know the value of acquiring Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Hyperliquid, stablecoin. And I'm showing you what I'm assuming is the craziest way to accumulate it you've ever seen. And I'm saying I will even hop on a call with you and do it with you. You're not going to get a better offer or opportunity than this if you're serious and you really want to do that. Is this skill DeFi going to be around long term, do you think? Absolutely. DeFi, that's a good question. DeFi has only grown since its inception. I remember like in 2020, when DeFi crossed $1 billion, like all of the DeFi protocols combined had $1 billion in them, like in money put into the actual system. Now it's over $100 billion in DeFi. It just keeps growing. And think about it. If this is what I say it is, and it is, once you realize that you can acquire Bitcoin and stablecoin passively like this, why would you stop? There's nothing that competes with this. And once people start using this stuff, the biggest hurdle is learning how to use it. And the offer I make is to completely squash that hurdle for you, because I'm even going to do it with you. Once people start using this stuff, every time without fail, they just use it more and more and more, and they never go back. Because why would you? Why would I leave money in the bank earning me 0% interest when I could have it over here, like just stablecoin, earning me 6 to 12%? Why would I leave money in the bank when I can be over here and be the house and let my stablecoin get 53% yield and withdraw whenever I want? Deposit as much as I want, withdraw as much as I want whenever I want. Why would I just hold Bitcoin when I can put my Bitcoin over here and let it turn into more Bitcoin? Why would I just hold my stablecoin where I can just let it turn into more stablecoin? I hope that answers your question. And let me say it this way, $997. Is that really a lot of money? Like, is that going to like crush you? I mean, if it's going to crush you, maybe this isn't right for you right now. But $1,000 is like, today in 2026, like it's not much money. It's not an amount of money. I mean, is $1,000 gonna put you in the poorhouse? Because if it's gonna make you have to miss your rent or your mortgage or something, then okay, yeah, don't get this. But odds are, $1,000 isn't really that much money. It's enough to show me you're serious, and it's enough for me to help you. I couldn't imagine doing less than that. And once you go through this and you learn this stuff and you start using it, you'll realize what I'm saying you would have paid 10 times for once you actually understand how powerful it is. And the only way you can completely understand it is to do it. And the only thing stopping you from doing it is paying a toll for me to do it with you, right? Or you could go learn it yourself, right? But I promise you, it's gonna be filled with potholes and bumpy and painful, and you're gonna get beat up. This is a nice, smooth road, fastest road, most beautiful road, is to just have me do it with you. And then, it's not just that, obviously. It's all this stuff. You have all those courses to reference, those videos. You have the community to lean on. I'm in there. Other serious investors are in there. Lifetime access to the buy-sell indicator. You get that call with me. dailycryptobull.com. One-time investment, $9.97. This is an investment in yourself. Investment in your skills. All right, I'm gonna be on here for I've been on here an hour and a half. So I'm gonna get off in 2 minutes. Drop any questions you have about this. I'm trying to pull up something else. Trying to actually show you a piece of data, Kelsey, that shows you how the amount of money in DeFi has been nothing but going up its entire existence, and that's just not going to stop. Stocks are going to be on the blockchain. They already are starting to be via hyperliquid. Commodities like oil and gold and silver are already on the blockchain. Everything is going to be on the blockchain. It really is. And once you start using DeFi, you understand why. Because it is just so much better. Let me see if I can find a total value locked chart. Because now I'm curious to see how much it's gone up. Ooh, low battery. Just looking to see if there's any other questions. It's dailycryptobull.com. They are not giving me the chart. Why is DeFi Llama not just giving me that chart? Come on, give me the chart. All right. How much did you invest to yield that amount in 90 days? Only like $2,000. Sorry I didn't answer that before, Sophia. I totally missed that somehow. Yeah, I mean, all I did in this wallet, now I have multiple wallets, but this is the one that I show. I put in about $2,000, right? See that? And in about 100 days, it's accumulated me that much. About half of that's Bitcoin, half of that is stablecoin. And in the last 2 days, a little over 2 days now, I've accumulated $21 and about $10 of each, stablecoin and Bitcoin. There's the link, there's the offer. Chain TV, tell me what the total TVL is. want chains, I want TVL. Yeah. Oh well. If I make this offer again, I'll have to have that up to be able to show the growth in total value locked is what it's called. In other words, that's another name for how much money is in DeFi. Total value locked is how much money is in DeFi. It's done nothing but go up, and once you start using it, you'll see why. Because you'll just put in more and more and more money and be like, everything else just seems stupid. Why isn't everyone else using this? All right, y'all. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna end the stream. There's the link, dailycryptobull.com. Only $9.97, you get all that stuff. You get all the video trainings, Be the Bank, Be the House, Be Coinbase, 3 months in the school community, lifetime access to the buy-sell indicator, and an hour call with me. I say hour, but it's gonna be as long as it takes to help you set up your positions. There's 0% chance you can't get your position set up because you're actually gonna do it with me. I don't know if I'm ever even gonna offer this again. You're the first people I'm offering it to. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if any of you even took it, which would be crazy if none of you took it. Multiple things, but over here, about $2,000 in here. I've accumulated around 1,100, half in Bitcoin, half in stablecoin in about 100 days, right? I mean, but say I had 20,000 in here. Well, guess what? That'd be $11,000. I also show you how to just get yield on stablecoin, 6 to 12%. I show you how to be the house, bet against the gamblers. That's paid about 53% over the past year. And of course, I show you that buy-sell indicator is right here, over 70% accuracy. I spent years building that thing, tweaking it and everything. Here's the trainings. Video trainings, yours to keep forever. And that's it. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go to the restroom, take a quick leak, and I'm gonna come back. And I'm going to close that page. This offer will not be available probably about 3 minutes after I end the stream, because I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna shut down that page so you won't be able to get the offer. I'm heading out. I hope at least one of you made the very wise decision to take me up on this offer. If you did, I look very forward to helping you. Other than that, you got at most 5 minutes to go to the site and get it. I'm gonna end the stream, I'm gonna go to the restroom, I'm gonna come back, and that site, that link, that offer will not be up. It won't be able for you to get. I will close that page. All right, take care.